Hello, everyone. So I am going to discuss chapter 2. And the title that we're going to discuss is Hiring a Fantastic Realtor. So let's dive right in. I want to start with two quotes. And it says, negotiation is like a dance. If you have a good partner, you end up working together to create a lot of value and find the best deal possible. Isn't that something? And I believe that's very true. And it's a great kickoff quote for what we're going to discuss today. If you think it's expensive to hire a professional to do the job, wait until you hire an amateur. In the luxury space, it's very important to hire somebody who has the know-how, the skill set, the experience, and not a rookie agent, especially with the largest asset that you own. So, how do you distinguish the good versus bad realtors? As in any industry, there's both good and bad professionals around. This goes for lawyers and doctors too. How do you distinguish the good ones versus the bad? So here are my 8 guidelines that we're going to discuss. How do you hire the best? So we're going to go through 8 steps. The first skill set we should require when hiring is market knowledge. A good agent will know all that there is to know about the local property market, down to the last details. The agent should know how much similar properties sold for, why they sold for that price, and how many days on the market it took. Then they gather this information to help you price the property at the correct price. A really bad or mediocre agent will not know what's sold in the area and why. They will also not understand pricing. This is why it pays to choose a real estate agent wisely. You don't want average, you want the very best, and you want the stats specific to your neighborhood. So facts, statistic driven, numbers don't lie. Stats, so facts tell and stories tell. When we are trying to figure out what the pricing is for your home, we have to look at the past solds and determine all the relevant properties to see statistics so that we can verify the facts and see what features of your home we're comparing to other homes to determine price. The second guideline I'm going to share with you is relationships with active buyers and with other agents. So at any given time, realtors will work with a number of prospective buyers who are keen to buy just like you. These buyers are typically pre-qualified financially and usually already working with a realtor. A good agent will already know who these active buyers are, what they're after, how much their financial limit is, and it's also important to have a solid financial mortgage team behind a realtor, as a mortgage agent supports realtors 100% as wingmen and wingwomen. A bad agent will not have these on hand. So relationships are with pre-qualified clients only, and agents that are going to be walking through your property must be qualified financially. Otherwise, you're not going to have the right people looking at your home. Now, reviews and testimonials are vital. High-performing agents will have an abundance of positive customer testimonials to support them. One of the easiest ways to tell whether an agent is good or bad is by using their past clients as a reference point. Always Google your agent. I believe that's the first step. And ask agents for past and most recent testimonials. A good agent will have a collection. So Google reviews, in my opinion, are the most accurate. And then check the real estate agent's website and reviews to see what their average scores are. It goes without saying that the higher these are, the better it is for you. Get real feedback. Marketing skills. Absolutely. If you want your home to sell quickly, then it's vital that your home gets marketed to potential buyers properly. It could be through flyers, online portals, social media, virtual tours, and the key thing is that a good agent knows what they're doing. They'll present your home in the best possible light, and that way your home gets the maximum exposure to the largest number of buyers. A bad agent may talk the talk, but then end up delivering poor photos, sloppy open houses, really give you a high listing price just so that they can get more foot traffic, resulting in your home lingering on the market for a long time. Another key tip to look for is the network of the complementary professionals in the real estate business. It really takes a network of professionals to properly prepare a home for sale. This could be anyone from photographers, stagers, gardeners, painters, and even contractors. Solid agents will have the best people on speed dial, whereas the bad ones will not. This makes a huge difference in the network and connections that work to your benefit. You really want people that you can trust. Negotiation skills. This is a key skill that is vital. Once you found a buyer for your home, really it's like a dance. There's a lot of back and forth. Well, the sellers obviously always want the highest price. The buyer wants the lowest. So it's the agent's job to help solidify the deal. A bad agent will give you too much information and show too many cards on the table, which could work as a disservice to you, just as they want the deal to go ahead. A really strong agent will keep a poker face and keep emotion out of it and really work to follow through on your behalf in your best interest. It really is a skill. Experience and track record. Absolutely. Really search your realtor's real estate achievements, award categories, their company, and the past performance in their career. This helps you understand how many properties they've been selling. And I would also hire a realtor who is in the top 10% of their market. Any rookies or inexperienced realtors will really show that they're lacking when it comes down to taking action. The benefit of a realtor's experience is that they work in local markets on a day-to-day basis and can provide information unlikely to be found online through real estate searches alone. You want a realtor to offer invaluable advice, including having a pulse on the market, solid rapport with other agents, and also a lot of people want to use their relatives. And you don't want to offend your family member or other people's opinions and ideas if it's not in your best interest to do so. So never mix business with pleasure. Always hire the best person for the job, whether you're related to them or not. Innate skills and quick action. So in addition to asking about experience, there are other traits that you can look for. Really, communication. You really want somebody who communicates well, is likable, and it's reasonable to expect other buyers or sellers you're working with to feel the same way. That's what you want. Emotional intelligence is high on the list. Also, organization and time management is very important. If they're not time managing well for you, they're probably not doing well with other buyers, sellers, or agents you need to work with. So that's indicative of their behaviors. Patience is also important. Conflict resolution is an unavoidable aspect of real estate transactions. Look for agents who can really listen calmly and think logically. Also, a person must be quick to take action. Where your time is money in real estate, speed to respond to inquiries. You need to ask yourself and react and know that reactions are crucial. If your realtor does not call, text, or email back inquiries made within 2 to 3 hours of your home, you don't want to lose the motivation of an interested partner or their realtor looking. Now, when hiring, what are the 9 key questions to ask your realtor? I would say these are the top 9. How many homes have you sold? This is fair. How many years of experience do you have in the business? I would suggest making sure that the person has sold at least 100 homes, and it must be in the segment that you live in. How many years of experience do you have in the business? This is vital, but I believe action and the number of properties sold is even more important. What's your track record on homes sold versus left on the market? This is an excellent question because it's indicative of how strategic pricing is made and how well their marketing plans are working. What if they're listing properties and not selling them? You want a high ratio of homes that are sold versus not selling. How do you advertise? Now, with my clients, I usually have tiered packages, bronze, silver, and gold. And within each of these segments and categories, different advertising platforms are used. You want to make sure you can get the details and adopt these so that you understand exactly what's happening and what your agent's doing for you to sell your property. How many days will my home be on the market? This is fair. It all depends on supply and demand, who your target audience is, who's your target buyer, what price point are you in, and how much inventory is currently existing on the market. Is your home unique? Is it similar to other homes? All those factors come into play. So if you strategize and do it well, you should have a clear figure of the number of days it will be on the market on an average basis. What are your professional fees? This is the magic question. Many people want to know, what do you charge as a realtor? Now, this is fair. Typically, there's a buyer agent involved and a listing agent involved. So there's two fees. The seller always pays real estate fees. So the seller pays the listing agent, typically 2.5%, and the buyer agent, typically 2.5%. Now, if you are using or hiring and getting additional services like staging, or you're getting a paint job, you're getting professional cleaning, organizational skills, there are other tiers involved. So it's best to talk to your realtor to see what options are available for you. What are your closing costs? So closing costs are typically about 1% of the transaction. So this is closing costs deal with lawyer fees. They can also be, if you are purchasing, you also have to remember there could be land transfer fees involved if it's in Toronto, if you're buying. If you're selling, you are not subject to land transfer costs, but closing costs are typically lawyer fees involved and basically moving costs that are associated. And any hidden costs, yes, of course. This is something that we need to create a specific net sheet to know exactly where you stand financially. So what are hidden costs when you're selling? The only hidden cost that you need to know when you're selling is if you are on a 5-year term or a 3-year term on a fixed or variable mortgage, you need to know that if you sell your home and you pay off your mortgage all at once, there may be some fine print, some small fine print in your mortgage contract that states you are subject to penalty fees. It's very important to find out what those penalty fees are prior to selling, because on closing, if you sell and then you end up liquidating, by the time you pay that mortgage off, there could be a fee as high as $15,000. I've seen it as low as $500 and I've seen it as high as $20,000. It really depends on who your mortgage is with. If it's with a top 5 bank, a private mortgage broker, what rate you originally locked in. So look into these things. These are hidden costs that people don't realize until it's time to sell. So call your mortgage broker, call your bank and see what's involved when you sell. Also, do you want to stage your property? Do you not want to stage your property? What is staging? We're going to discuss that in a future chapter. How much will I net after the sale? Absolutely. This is a key question. And if you don't know the math, I suggest that you sit down with your realtor and really, really pinpoint what your net costs are after the proceeds of the sale. So here's my pro tip. Get crystal clear on the costs to avoid surprises. Also, if you would like to get a copy of my free net sheet, please reach out to me via email at sandysold, SANDY, @outlook.com, or reach out to me anytime.